We will see. We've got a best of 7 on our hands here. It's Wang Yidi to start it off with the serves.
One love.
So, Wang Yidi up against a left-hander. 5.5 hours almost for Hina Hayata on court.
Love, 2.
It's a nice combination there. Brings in Hina Hayata over the forehand side of the table to play the backhand, which gives her a long way to go to get back to that deep backhand corner.
Now, part of the reason that was 5.5 hours for Hayata is the fact that she obviously made it 3.5 hours for Wang Yidi. She made it all the way to the mixed doubles final that we had earlier today. Tough one there. Wang Yidi really going on that forehand of Hayata's.
Yeah, doing an excellent job of being consistent on top of the bounce. You know, Hayata's forehand is tough, but you can see there it's more into the middle, which really shuts down that racket speed, forcing her to play an abbreviated stroke.
Let, 4 love. Let, 4 love.
First point on the board for Hayata. Yeah, just to complete what I was saying earlier, yeah, she's just got to put that behind her, the mixed doubles final, where she and Tomokazu Harimoto were completely outplayed by Wang Chuqin and Sun Yingsha about 5.5 hours ago. Wang Yidi, for her part, is into the women's doubles final.
Yeah, I'd imagine for Hina Hayata that she's comfortably focusing right now on the singles event. This is, after all, the biggest title for any of these women. If you can get your name on that cup, if you can carry the cup and take this title, you will go down in history. One of the most referenced lists on the internet in table tennis is the World Championships.
2-5.
Yeah, this is a second World Championship, Hina Hayata. Round of 16 last time out. So she's already gone one better here. But it's Wang Yidi who's got a 3-point lead.
It's crazy to think that just 4 years ago she wasn't even competing at the World Championships.
It's lovely from Wang Yidi, who got to the semi-finals in her first World Championships back in 2021. That bronze medal. Seems to be a woman on a mission tonight, Wang Yidi.
The angles that she's creating right now, the timing that she has to take these so early. Watch this combination. One to the wide forehand and even wider on the way back. Hina Hayata's got wingspan. That is tough to do.
Idea was there from Wang Yidi. If she'd managed to get that back, it would have been hard for Hayata.
This is the first free forehand I've seen from Hina Hayata in some time. Again, in the women's game, you see a lot of playing for the middle, trying to hit the elbow, going backhand to backhand. But with a lefty out here, we'll change things up a bit.
3-8.
The lead is now 5.
Good placement on this ball. Heavy rotation as well. Hina Hayata just clipping the net there. Again, the more underspin there is on it, the more you have to lift when you attack, so it tends to slow down the shot.
Air shot there from Wang Yidi. Well, we talk about differences, like in pen holders, defensive players. Left-handers is another one. That's what Hina Hayata is. Wang Yidi's actually got a better record against lefties than her own overall record. She's beaten 24 out of 27 left-handers that she's faced, almost 90% win rate.
The only explanation that I can come up with for that is that the majority of her teammates are right-handed, meaning the Chinese national team players are the strongest in the world. So outside of Qian Tianyi, we don't see too many left-handers at the top of the game beating Wang Yidi.
And it's looking like that right now as well, with 6 game points, Wang Yidi.
Interestingly enough, one left-hander who I can think of who is also 59 years old. Ni Xiaolian, in the last 2 years, has done it. 6 game points, though, for Wang Yidi.
Converts at the first time of asking. Wang Yidi, fantastic start for her in this quarterfinal.
She's a very stable player. She's fast, she's very compact, still has the power she needs. She doesn't get back behind the table. Little conversation with Ma Lin after game number 1. It's a best of 7, so Wang Yidi off to a good start.
In the other semi-final.
And Chen Xingtong disposed of the defending world champion Wang Manyu, so right now she is the player to watch. Chen Meng, while an incredible player, might not be at her peak in this moment. She's been beaten by non-Chinese players, both from Romania, in recent history.
Hayata to serve. Last all.
So more of an open field in that sense, with Wang Manyu out. Hina Hayata fighting for survival to add a little bit of a mix in terms of the flags in the semifinals.
So just talking about the big 4, right? You've just mentioned Chen Meng might be a little vulnerable at the moment. Wang Manyu's out. We've got Wang Yidi here in action. And we've got Sun Yingsha, who's already through. How far behind do you think Wang Yidi is, or how close, should I say, is she to Sun Yingsha?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm going to look up their head-to-head. To my knowledge, in terms of Mima Ito, she had never beaten Chen Meng before. She was 0-4 before this match. So it was the expected result.
Despite the recent vulnerability that you talked about.
Right, which is a good point, right? Chen Meng has had more upsets against her than, I'd say, for the last 5 years. This is sort of a little bit of a dip. She really does have to prove some things right now.
1-3.
So this is an opportunity for Wang Yidi here. And of course, now that we're in an Olympic qualification year, all this comes into the equation.
Smart placement here to go back down the line. Hina Hayata sneaks it past. Take a look here, bottle challenge into the body a bit, not right on the line, but follows it well with the backhand. Since you mentioned the Olympic qualifications, Hina Hayata won the Road to Paris in Japan over Miwa Harimoto, who didn't qualify for this event.
3-3.
Yeah, Japan really not living up to the expectations at the home Olympics. Only Jun Mizutani and Mima Ito getting gold there in the mixed doubles.
Coach Ishida here, who's been with Hina Hayata for quite some time, has traveled the entire world coaching and playing the sport.
3-4.
Well, Hayata will be pleased with how the second game is going, in stark contrast to the first one.
Yeah, already equaling her score.
Yeah.
So Wang Yidi had 11-4 in game number 1, 3-4 right now. Better situation for Hina's.
3-4.
If you're newer to table tennis, a let serve when it hits the net and then goes on to the opponent's side can happen as many times as you have time for. No limit.
And that backhand there from Hayata, slightly deeper shot.
Again, the placement, looking for that elbow. You might think corner to corner, and in some instances, yes, but at the top levels, they're very comfortable when it's to the corner. They're so fast, unless they're out of position, they'll have a bigger stroke with more racket speed when it's played to the corner. So what they do is they hit it to that crossover point where the opponent has to decide, should I play a forehand or a backhand? And that hesitation costs them dearly.
Oh, that was a wonderful backhand whipped back by Hayata. Made it difficult for Wang Yidi.
Yeah, the pressure on Hina Hayata right now, in the sense that, not that she's expected to win, but that she has to play incredibly well here to pull off this victory.
Lead of 3 here for Hayata.
3-7.
Make it 4.
Very bold attempt, Wang Yidi trying to spin the ball inside out after going parallel. Watch how much side spin she tries to add on that last one. And with Hina Hayata in position, again, that adds a bit of extra concern for Wang Yidi.
This is looking very good for Hina Hayata.
She's channeling her inner Anders Lind right now. That last point had 2 very awkward shots, slow, and another slow one like topspin, a rhythm breaker. We know she's capable of the big shots. Beware of dog sign. Well played.
We knew what was going to happen next there.
The truth is, I think the racket was out of her hand, but just in case, Hina Hayata, yeah, plays it on the table anyway, just in case. In the replay, that would have been, so TTR, when they had table tennis review, I think the umpire would have spotted it. It's Akram Benatia, gold badge, so he would have noticed for sure. But the point immediately over when Wang Yidi hits the ball with a racket that is not in her hand.
7 game points. Hina Hayata has set up here.
Talk about keeping it awkward. Hina Hayata has been breaking rhythm like nobody's business, slow and spinny. Look at this last shot, awkwardly on the line. What an unusual game, and even a more dominant start than her opponent.
He's done it. What a wonderful turnaround this has been for Hina Hayata.
I will be very surprised if she's able to keep up these tactics, but right now she's on a clear mission with constant breaking of rhythm. Hard.
Well, Wang Yidi completely outplayed in that second game. And the way that Hayata would have had to bounce back after the first game setback, that's a real credit to her.
Yeah, in all fairness, it was absolute domination. Maybe not absolute, but 11-4 is quite one-sided.
What's the best way to counter that? Beat the opponent 11-3.
Well, the best way has been chosen. Hina Hayata with her contrasting rhythms out here. Momentum now.
Was that what it was for you in that second game for Hina Hayata?
Absolutely. She came in. Now, again, the Chinese national team is... Let's just focus on Wang Yidi, I guess. She's so stable. She's so quick in the rallies. And Hina Hayata not allowing her to get points. 8 points out of the last 8. That's the first one. Curse of the commentator.
As soon as that comes up.
Nice strawberry here.
There. Yep.
Again, strawberry named because it's the opposite side spin of the banana flick, which is a top side spin with the backhand typically over the table.
She turned defense into attack. Brilliant.
And the way she did it was all about spin. In the beginning of this point, Wang Yidi is very comfortable in the rally. That's where she slowed it down. Now everything after this is heavy topspin. Look at this. She's arcing it in a very unusual way so that Wang Yidi has to play the ball out of rhythm from up higher off the bounce. It's uncomfortable, clearly, and it has been since the beginning of last game.
This continues for, that's 1 point out of 11 that's gone Wang Yidi's way, or 10 out of 11 for Hayata, another way to look at it.
It's amazing to me that she's able to slow the ball down in these fast rallies and arc the way she has.
So, Wang Yidi looking to get on that comeback trail.
But again, that was Hina Hayata playing a very slow, spinny ball. A little help off the net there for Wang Yidi, but she still hasn't found her rhythm. She's not comfortable in this match the way Hina Hayata's playing.
So a strawberry there.
And this time it worked out. I'm surprised she went back to it, considering the way Wang Yidi had responded to it the last time she saw it.
I love how a strawberry is deemed the opposite of a banana.
Yeah, in real life, they're not opposite at all.
Yeah. What is the opposite of banana, though?
Unbanana. 1 over banana.
5-2.
Our director said that they are opposite because a strawberry is a berry. Interesting. It's one way to, I don't know if I'd call them opposites, but since you can't hear our director, I probably won't carry on that conversation for you. 5-2, Hina Hayata continuing her streak here with side spins, slow spins, and everything awkward.
The pace had its effect. What a winner.
Found herself in the backcourt here, just a step behind the table after Wang Yidi goes wide to the forehand on defense, countered to the short side, not even touched. Fist up, Statue of Liberty pose here. Hina Hayata, some serious acceleration. One of the points of the day so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at that, though. 14 of the last 16, not including the one we just saw, have gone Hina Hayata's way. She's playing it really smart, isn't she?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Let.
So the toss was the warning. It was not vertical enough.
3-6.
It must be no more than 30 degrees off of straight up. That is the term nearly vertical quantified.
I don't know how anyone measures that, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The umpire and assistant umpire, it was assistant umpire Ingrid Bogren, who's an incredible umpire. I guess it's just an eye shot, right? You see it and you think, you know what?
You've trained so much with that, I guess you know, right?
And in all fairness, if the umpire ever calls it, it's usually way more than 30 degrees off.
These angles just give you an example, a way of seeing how quick it is out there.
Right, when you're down in the playing field, the battlefield, the reaction time of Hina Hayata, I don't know how the legs, I mean, I guess it's incredible training and physical fitness, but it's just simply exhausting.
So Wang Yidi's battled pretty well here, battled back. Shown some good resolve. I think it's something like 4 points in a row here for Wang Yidi. Remember how dominant it was for Hayata just a few minutes ago.
So we think she was down 2-6, which would make this 5 in a row. Wang Yidi, keep an eye on what she does here. The speed comes in. Hina Hayata not able to get into the slowing down. Little look back, sort of a giraffe-like stare.
It was. Strawberry attempt again.
Carries just long. Wang Yidi's doing an excellent job of controlling the points early. Here it's straight up serve. Think about what a turnaround in momentum this was. It was easy to imagine. Now 6 of the last 8 on screen for Wang Yidi.
I mean, make no mistake about it. The pressure was really on Wang Yidi there at 2-6. This is incredible. 7 in a row.
You could argue that it has been since the start of the match, as she is the expected victor.
Yeah.
She's 2-0 against Hina Hayata. There is no greater, well, I'd say foul than being beaten by a non-Chinese player. For Team China, Hina Hayata, though, with the perfect length on the serve. Again, if you're newer to table tennis, a short serve bounces twice on the opponent's side for an outright point. A long serve only once, and a half long is what you just saw, where you can't tell if it will come off the table or not, and it causes the receiver hesitation. We'll set Hina Hayata up there with a good third ball opportunity to convert.
Yeah, this is her fight back now, Hayata. The 2 times they've met, one of them was at actually the World Championships in the round of 16, where Wang Yidi won 4-2. One of those games went to 2018, by the way. And the other one was 4-1 at the Asian Cup in Bangkok last year in the semi-finals.
9-9.
Wow, Hayata at the right time picking up these points again.
I'm impressed that she's doing it the way she is, too. She's driving here. Little side on that first one. Second one accelerates, but instead of going to the wide corner, which would have been the obvious choice, she plays it a little bit more toward the center part of the forehand. Slowed down Wang Yidi. Look at this crucial moment here in game 3.
There, she was on top, wasn't she? Wang Yidi in some trouble now. She faces 1 game point to save.
The amount of tension here. Hina Hayata, if you know her, is one of the most softly spoken people. Incredible intensity here in a second serve, a chance to convert this game.
Hina Hayata in front. This game seesawed so much. She was well in front. A fantastic fight back from Wang Yidi. And the Hayata, when it mattered most, takes the game 11-9. So, Hayata here serving in game 4. And you can see the thought process. They went for the harder shot down the line. Well, earlier I was telling you about Wang Yidi's record against left-handers, 89%. What about Hina Hayata playing Chinese players? Well, 33%. Pretty good.
Apples and oranges, though, just in case you only heard the percentages.
14 out of 42 wins.
What about Hina Hayata versus left-handers or Wang Yidi versus Chinese opponents? I'd like to hear them side by side just for comparison. Good start here for the trailing player, Wang Yidi, the world number 3.
Yeah, this has been excellent for her. Hayata overall, though she's trailing, it's been a very, very good couple of games.
The parallel backhands here, and it's Wang Yidi to continue. Bottle challenge serve, then right on the line. Wang Yidi does a good job of keeping it low, keeping it baseline, so that there's no easy angle to the wide forehand for Hina Hayata in that rally.
Yet she doesn't want Wang Yidi to surge too far ahead of her. Important for Hayata to win that point.
The way she did it again, going back to the rhythm break, she's able to slow down the rally, spin, again, slow spin, and then a wide angle. This is what got her so far. This is what got her through games 2 and 3 successfully.
Yeah, that was on the slot, wasn't it? Pretty straightforward for Wang Yidi to put away.
It's funny, I thought this was a very awkward ball to deal with. Right at the baseline, very little rotation on it. She plays a gutsy shot there. That, to me, was even out of sorts, out of the norm for Wang Yidi. Impressive.
3-5.
So it's important for Hayata to stay within the 2 to 3 point striking distance for now. She doesn't want to let her opponent surge too far ahead. In this important game 4, she can take a 3-1 lead. She puts herself in an excellent position.
Let 3-5.
Doesn't make it over, gets her coach on his feet.
You can feel it, Shahzad. She plays it slow and then she comes back to create this stark contrast. Soft intentionally, and now here's the soft one, moves her around. This is when she pounces on it. It's not two of the same in a row. It's constantly different. This is all about rhythm break right now.
Let 4-5.
So if you're Wang Yidi and you're obviously seeing what Hina Hayata's doing and varying the pace, what does she need to do? How does she counter that?
That's a great question. I think there are a few answers, none of which are going to be 100% guarantees. First of all, spinning back, meaning play the arcing topspin shot as well. And as soon as Hina Hayata takes a powerful shot, counter. Just stay in position, play for position. Another way to go is, don't be bothered, just move the feet quickly and adjust, which is easier said than done.
Right.
But play your shots aggressively into the elbow. Unless you have an angle, stay aggressive. And if you do have the angle, go wide to the forehand.
So you can see Hayata again looking to try and vary it, but it's Wang Yidi wins a point and goes 2 ahead.
Yeah, and Wang Yidi plays spin here.
No flash, please.
Notice it's more of an arc.
Please, no flash.
Well, there's someone in the crowd.
Yeah,
right across from us actually, and has been told specifically. Took a while.
5.
The flash is off.
7.
Oh, it's back
on again.
Uh-oh. Wait a
Wow.
sec. Akram's on it. Players too. Check yourself. Check yourself, fool. You got front row seats.
Well, I hope that's the last time that happens, because it's right in the eye line of Wang Yidi.
And also for that fan and street cred.
5-8.
So she's starting to pull ahead here. Wang Yidi, 3 points.
Earlier today, we saw a 5-8 comeback with 6 straight points. By the way, the Anders Lind confusion earlier at 10-7 in the final game. Wang Chuqin thought it hit the net on the way over, which is why he said, oh, we can replay it if you want.
Yeah, that is a perfect example of what we're talking about. That's really gutsy. Nice work from Hina Hayata.
This chasing shot, the scooper, plays the short side, and a bit of side spin on it. Not much top at all, and Wang Yidi having a very tough time making what needs to be an incredibly, well, I'd say, delicate contact. So understandable that it wasn't perfect.
She did it a few times. Wang Yidi adjusted well this time.
To play it inside out like that, hit the inside of the ball and bend it wide. Let's take another look. Now she's got her. Step around as wide as can be, continuing with the angle that was already started by Hina Hayata. Again, wingspan, no shortage of it for Hina Hayata.
Yeah, again, you can see what Hayata is attempting to do, but it's Wang Yidi now who has 4 game points.
And this is one of the 2 options. Stay aggressive, but move the feet quicker, remember? And look how fast she is in her steps. Very little hesitation. That's going to take away a lot of the main ingredient that's been working for Hina Hayata.
That's really nicely done, Wang Yidi, who has drawn level here. We have a fantastic match on our hands. After Wang Yidi has taken game 4, 11-6. It's 2-all. You just saw Hina Hayata puffing out the cheeks.
Game. Want to serve?
She is she's playing very well here as well. As quite often people will say that when you're up against a Chinese player, you've just got to play at 120%, if not more. Got to be your very best on the day. What excellent work from Hina Hayata.
You couldn't ask for much better placement on a lob here. To save the first one, she was in a bit of trouble. Nice save with the backhand. And this one, heavy kick. Look how high she had to jump, Wang Yidi, to try and come over the top of that to get the top spin she needed for security.
It was a bemused look, wasn't it, from Wang Yidi?
Fault called. So Wang Yidi, point automatically. This is going to change things quite a bit. She was warned earlier about her service toss. There's an advantage to throwing the ball backwards, not nearly vertical or off to the side into the body. Good response to being called on the serve, coming out here in an outstanding rally and showing just true determination and grit. The way she plays these balls way out in front. You can see 2 of the last 3 shots, she was just getting every bit of muscle in to move forward towards the table and take it early.
Not for the higher toss this time, Hayata.
I like that Ma Lin's getting in there to remind Wang Yidi after tough times. Mentally, it can be a bit taxing when you lose a point for being called on serve. Again, I think it's the right call, but still, for a player who's used to not being called on it, it could take your focus a little bit. So Ma Lin reminding Wang Yidi that she's not here alone. Ooh, interesting. 2 outright service points for the receiver.
Gifted away.
You got it, you can do it. You got this serve, more or less, in my limited Mandarin.
Again, you're just seeing exactly what we've been talking about, what Hayata's done so successfully throughout this match. Varying it again. And why change something that's worked pretty successfully for you?
Right. That last ball from Hina Hayata was shallow on the table. It was much closer to the net than the baseline. Not easy to do in a fast rally, but those heavy topspin shots.
Excellent work on the serve.
Coach Ishida, now you have to remember, TV Tokyo's got one table to itself here. Japan is massive in table tennis, just behind China. A giant step, mind you, but Japan has nobody left. Mima Ito was eliminated earlier. This is their last chance. Hina Hayata.
Yeah, so was Tomokazu Harimoto as well.
On the men's side as well. So Japan right now, Coach Ishida knows.
It's all on this.
Right. That the entire nation, 125 million or whatnot, are counting on Hina Hayata.
Chips the nets. Just a point in it. Wang Yidi knows after what she's seen earlier, she cannot allow any more from her opponent.
It's a nice combination. Move her over to use the backhand on the forehand side and then go deep to the backhand. Classic setup.
6-5.
Hand up there from Hina Hayata.
You'll see that in table tennis when someone clips the net, mishits it. Any little bit of fortune that they get sometimes, something unintentional that worked in their favor.
So this is interesting now, a nice little cushion here. Hina Hayata to build on. Just heard some Chinese fans in there. The lead is now 3 for Hayata.
Much the opposite of last game, still keeping it cool. This is a player who is screaming, screaming after each point. Look at her now. The level of focus required. This is to get a 3-2 lead, whoever takes this game.
That was an attempt, wasn't it, to vary it again?
Yes, if I'm in Coach Ishida's corner, I'm nodding my head, yes, you played everything right. Wang Yidi is not comfortable in this rally. Hina Hayata keeps spinning. And she did it. She succeeded many times, but the last one, just sticking to the plan, didn't come down.
So it's not so bad that you've gone down trying to attempt that.
Right, making the shot selection, that's important.
Very different thinking on that shot.
It's funny, she's naturally quite pale, but after that point, I feel like she just got paler, even a few shades. Hina Hayata, that is. You probably didn't have any question about that at home. This is really tough for Hina Hayata. Ma Lin getting his voice out there. Wang Yidi has tied it up with 3 straight points, but this receive really gave Hina Hayata a good opportunity with that backhand.
Yeah, this is getting tense again. Game 5. Now we're hearing the screams from Hina Hayata.
The scoreline almost naturally calls for it. This is where they came out last time around. I think she needs to do whatever it takes to get her confident. Again, the game plan, man, the last 2 points at 8-6, those were tough for Hina Hayata. Wang Yidi has done well, but it's not the same level of confidence we saw from her last game.
Doesn't hit the intended targets. 9-all.
I've seen Hina Hayata over the years, starting in 2017 in Kazakhstan, actually, causing some trouble against world's top few. I want to say Ju Yuling. Either way, she took her down to the wire, but it was this game right here, game number 5, the crucial clutch moment that made the difference.
That's got past her. Hayata sets up game point.
Right now, these moments, you have to wonder, if you're a table tennis fan, what serve will Hina Hayata bring? In the last one, it seemed relatively conservative and a traditional aggressive shot down the middle. Game point, Hayata.
She's done it again. Hina Hayata. The game plan has worked. She's 3-2 up.
Every other shot in this rally is aggressive. The contrast that she brings, one spinny, one drive, one spinny, one drive, pays off in a clutch moment.
Next.
Sixth game. Hayata to serve. Love all.
Three games to 2. Hina Hayata starts game 6.
Love 1.
Trying to stay slow and spinny. Now, in terms of the pattern, she's played slow and spinny unless she has a clear authoritative opportunity. If she thinks she can finish the point, then she'll go aggressive. But she's not getting into just an open, quick rally.
wasn't all that far away, but she's determined to keep playing that kind of tactic.
It's worked out for her well. It's understandable that she would. Wang Yidi against this tactic. I think it was the second option that I mentioned, which I think would be the favorite, is to move the feet, stay confident, spin when you need, but just keep the racket speed high.
2-1.
But committed to a backhand to cover the elbow here. It's Hina Hayata who gets Wang Yidi to cross over. First point on the scoreboard in Game 6, and it's against serve. Trying for that very faint contact, the slow spinny shot. The margin for error is that much less. Good old banana flick attempted there, but a slow spinny one. You could see just by the angle of the racket what she was intending to do.
There we go again. The penultimate shot from Hayata doing the business.
Slow and spinny, watch where it bounces on the table. Awkward ball. Okay, that one a little bit more baseline than expected, but side spin, change of pace.
Left, 2, 3.
She will very, very gladly take it. Hand up an apology, but inside, her heart is pumping.
Well, this is the thing with luck. It's not the way she would have wanted to do it, but given the opportunity, of course.
You grab it.
A bit of fortune for Hayata, and it ties up the game. It just adds to the pressure that Wang Yidi already has, and the amount of pressure is tough to comprehend.
He's rolling a little bit there. Hayata, and a slight shake of the head.
But before they start the point, this is the Japanese positivity. They come back nodding their head yes, as in I know what I need to do.
Not far away.
It's an excellent punch here. Wang Yidi improvising a bit herself to play this backhand punch way out in front. She leaves the table open, but that's the risk she had to take.
Yeah, on her serves, this is where she needs to narrow that lead. She's got the first one.
We've talked a lot about physicality over the last week. Watching Wang Yidi's back when she's getting ready to receive, she gets so low. It's incredibly common here in our sport, the way everything is forward. Shoulders.
Again and again.
It's tough. Your toes are just dangling over the cliff. When you're backed up behind the table, you know it could be life or death, but when you have to play it spinny, it's her natural reaction, Hina Hayata, to get aggressive as possible. Ma Lin saying, keep her in the backhand corner. She's less likely to do much from there. She can't counter from there.
Well, doesn't always have to be that way.
Well, when she's behind the table, of course, but here closer to the table. And now a timeout. This is Hina Hayata really forcing herself to spin and slow. Ever shown on live TV during a match.
No ripping of shirts at the end.
2007 Zagreb, I guess that would have been Ma Long's first ever World Championships. And now here, coaching for years already, Ma Lin, retired at about 33.
Remember, it was Wang Yidi who asked for the timeout. First point after that goes to Hayata. She's got a right look on her face. 6 of the last 8 Hayata's way.
In case you're just joining us, Hina Hayata of Japan is the last standing player for Japan across both men's and women's singles. This would be a massive upset. She's never beaten Wang Yidi before.
You know, Adam, you've watched so much table tennis over the years. Whenever you've seen in a clutch match, in a clutch moment in a big event like this one, have you seen a player use such planning and meticulous decision-making in such a way as Hina Hayata has?
This is quite unusual.
Almost. But you're loving the fact that she is sticking to her guns, a plan that's working so well.
I can feel how crazy difficult it is when someone tells you they have a plan, but they're basically saying, let this massive power hitter hit you.
So it's so counterintuitive, isn't it?
Super counter. It's the scariest thing you could imagine on the table.
7-8.
2 big points here for Wang Yidi.
Yeah.
Hina Hayata, it was around this time, here's the timeout now. It was around this time last game that the same thing happened. She was up 8-5 if I remember.
Yeah.
And then it was 3 points in a row for Wang Yidi, if I'm not mistaken. And there was that flustered look. I think I mentioned the paleness.
Yeah, big moment here. Picking up what Anna and I were talking about. I mean, Adam, if she still has to pull this off, she's not far away, but it's tight. This will be right up there, right, for performances.
7-8.
Hina Hayata.
Right. Far away and not far away is all relative. 3 points is relatively far away against Wang Yidi, but the way she has done this has really taken an incredible amount of focus, determination, and restraint from Hina Hayata.
Wang Yidi draws level.
So Hayata's got the serves now. She's used them effectively.
Yeah.
Similar scoreline last game, if I recall, but it would have been the opposite player's serve at this score.
2 serves here now, Hina Hayata. Didn't work that time. Wang Yidi goes in front.
It's very tough for the Japanese player here. Hina Hayata is doing everything that would have been instructed in the points. At the timeout, she's done it consistently for the last several points, and the last 4 have been taken by Wang Yidi.
Make that 5. This has been excellent from Wang Yidi. Such an important moment. 2 game points for her.
Now it's tough to know the exact conversation, but this had more forward motion, still spinny, just a little bit more of a drive. I wonder what she's telling herself right there. 2 game points for the world number 3, Wang Yidi, to send it to the decider.
11.
Wang Yidi has leveled things. We are going to go the distance here. Absolutely no emotion on Wang Yidi's face. It's just another day for her. But boy, has this been very, very good. She was 5-8 down and just reeled off 6 points.
In all fairness, there'd be a lot of emotion on her face if it were just another day. This right here is a job that is not yet done. It is far from done. Game 7, the telling and final game of this match. And a lot of pressure on Wang Yidi.
Right here, the World Championships in Durban, South Africa. We have been treated to what has been
Last game.
a spectacular match.
Last all.
It's been full of drama, and we're going to go into a 7th and final game.
Last one.
Well, this is better. This is what she wanted in the previous game, Hina Hayata.
Yeah, from 8-5 up, wasn't able to find much fortune. The focus from Wang Yidi, incredible under pressure. Now, this is what it takes to represent China at the most major events. Can you come through in the clutch moments when the pressure is at its highest?
Pushed it deep. Yidi goes long.
Again, Hina Hayata can attack, but to get that tongue out on the other side, she's going to have to be very selective about how and when she does.
The tactic is back in full form, and look at the coach, he's on his feet as well. Out of your picture.
I'm hearing the shouts and screams. I think these are the two loudest coaches in any match I've heard, at least as a combination. The total decibel level between these two coaches, unrivaled so far.
1-3.
Wang Yidi starts the comeback trail here, perhaps.
Again, it's the forward motion, not the arcing spin shot. She will take some. It's going to be a question of surprise factor when she chooses to.
Yeah, didn't try much of that there.
I felt like the last shot was her attempting to slow it down and spin it. She got into a more traditional Chinese Super League style rally, the fast shots. It's not the battle she wants to pick, and she knows this. After a few in a row, if she can spin it, if she can slow it down, easier said than done, but she's done it well so far.
And just explain quickly, like, just how difficult it would be for a player who's used to playing so quickly to midway change the pace like this.
It's almost unthinkable. It's just shy of physically impossible. It's completely unnatural. The ball's already going to bounce off your racket so fast, and you have to touch it with such a fine angle to brush it that way.
5-2.
Well, this is excellent. She took 3, dropped 2, and then has a couple of points now, and the lead is now 3. Hina Hayata in a good position.
No timeouts left on either side. A 3-point cushion wasn't enough at 8-5 in the later ends of last game. Wang Yidi still very much in this match.
Attempting that one there, wasn't she, Hayata? This will happen from time to time. We've seen it a few times now.
Yeah, for me, I watch this as a spectator thinking the favorite here is Wang Yidi. I tend to take the role of the underdog and think, how could I get through the player who's expected to win? So I'm nodding my head, yes, you stuck to the tactics. Hina Hayata played that right.
Again. Now, Wang Yidi chasing down that lead.
Perfect placement here from Wang Yidi. Deep baseline in the crossover point. And Hina Hayata plays it out in front a little bit here. Maybe that's a wait for it to come to me if I want to spin, especially when I have a slower ball to work with.
6-4.
There we go again.
That slow spin. It's tough sometimes when you know you're essentially restraining yourself in a best of 7 the entire match against somebody who's so dangerous. This is dangling a piece of meat over an alligator.
3-point lead again, restored for Hina Hayata.
It is far from over. It was far from over last game. We were talking about how close she was at 8-7, and it was not to be. It was Hina Hayata in trouble. It was Wang Yidi to take it back.
Look, Wang Yidi has dug deep already in this match.
And this was the first option. When you asked me for how do you respond to that break of rhythm, the first idea was slow down and spin back as well. Is that the better option? I can't say so. But Wang Yidi using it effectively in that last point to spin back slowly.
Big shout from the crowd. 3 up here, Hayata.
That wry lick of the lips here. Wang Yidi came back last game from 5-8 down. She's done it before on several occasions, whether she converted the game or not. This would be her last chance. It is a must-win game for both players.
Well, some great moments in the build-up to that.
This point for me could be the factor. That was an incredible point. The amount of pressure in that moment. I thought surely Hina Hayata had won it, blocking it out to the wide open forehand. But the footwork of Wang Yidi and the undying effort saved it.
Just a point between them.
Deja vu on your deja vu. We've been through this before. Wang Yidi keeping it as tight and exciting as could possibly be. This point, a big serve to come for Hina Hayata.
Three in a row for Wang Yidi. This is similar to what we saw in the previous game, wasn't it?
And she's trying. She's doing what she knows she needs to do. Spin it, but just long. Fine margins here. Three in a row for Wang Yidi, and now the serves are back.
Yeah, she's going for it. She's sticking to the plan, but at the moment, she's not quite being able to execute.
Table just not long enough for the shots that Hina Hayata's spinning out here. More spin control. She switched her tactics here. Wang Yidi playing spin on spin.
It's the first time in this game that Wang Yidi has taken the lead, and what a time to do it. And there are now 2 match points for Wang Yidi.
5 in a row from down 5-8.
Exactly what happened in the previous game.
And nearly every shot has been spun and just carried long from Hina Hayata. 2 match points for Wang Yidi, the world number 3, on the receive.
What a great rally. Hina Hayata stuck to her guns and saves a match point.
The amount of intensity that Coach Ishida must be feeling. If Hina Hayata wins one more point, you are going to hear a roar like you have never heard. But a very, very calm celebration here. The job is not done.
Still on serve. Big time here. Big moment. She has to level.
This is so crazy. 8-5 up. Hina Hayata was running away on the verge. Toes just crossing that line there. Defeat draws herself out, pries herself out of the jaws of the alligator. Wang Yidi still with the chance. They will alternate serves to finish this match 1 point at a time until we have a 2-point lead.
Wang Yidi, who sets up her 3rd match point.
The drama could not be higher. Wang Yidi with a roar like we've never heard before. And the score now, match point for the 3rd time.
10-11.
Deep corner does it.
Oh, the drama, the emotion. We're only at the quarterfinals. So much more to come. She once again survives, Hina Hayata. Oh, this is so much fun. 3rd game point saved.
Airsick bag, anyone?
She's been chasing and chasing here, Hayata, in the latter stages. A 4th match point for Wang Yidi.
I feel like I can hear her thoughts. and she's forcing herself to spin. It must have been about 50% of the spin shots she's played. Her points won against her have been spin shots carrying long. The hard shot comes into the backhand, and she can't return it fast. She has to turn it slower and spinny. Third deuce point in the decider.
Yeah, again, she was trying and trying and trying. Resisting that urge to play a normal, fast-paced game. Fifth match point.
Well, that shot just a little bit more shallow, which is understandable because they had all gone long, but Wang Yidi taking advantage. This is ridiculous. What are the odds? A net ball for the match, and Hina Hayata not only recovers it, but rips it to save the match.
Well, she's got a smile on her face. She knows how crazy this game is. That's match. A sixth match point for Wang Yidi.
She took her chances here. She earned it. Hina Hayata, I think, was right to spring on that one. How many times can you play slow and spinny in a row? When the ball comes up a little bit and you have your chances.
The only saving grace is she's always serving on match point, Hina Hayata. And there it is again, 6 match points saved.
I can already imagine 20 years from now the conversations that people will be having with Hina Hayata about this match. But it's going to have to go one way for that to be brought up comfortably.
Well, can she set up her own?
The top of the net, she gets it. She's earned a match point. What did she save? Did you say 5, 6?
6 match points she saved. If she gets this on the first go, this place is going to erupt. Wang Yidi saving it.
It is the
6-1
and the 5th towel break. Talk about, I mean, you could use more than a towel break right now. A permanent dry solution out here.
15.
My heart hurts. No matter who wins this, it is just so important on both sides. And it stays on Hina Hayata's side. Yeah. 7th match point. How is anyone going to be able to interview after this match?
Oh, man. Save again. Unbelievable.
No flash, please. No flash.
Can you imagine a flash coming in right now?
Remember, these two had a 2018 when they played at the last World Championships in Houston.
But it wasn't game number 7.
No, it wasn't. Her second match point, Hina Hayata. Wang Yidi has had 7. Hina Hayata on her second.
Hindsight is 20/20, and this is not over. But she has stuck to the plan through and through since game number 2.
We have now had a total of 9 match points between them. Incredible stuff here at the ICC Durban.
I don't know what to do with myself watching this.
Adam has gone up and down about 3 times already. She went for it.
17, 18.
Haven't seen that in a while from her. Hina Hayata.
A rare occasion.
Yeah.
I remember the backhand, a handful of points ago. And back in Wang Yidi's favor.
Match point number 8 for Wang Yidi.
As baseline as can be, the spin shot that had missed the edge of the table, it had missed the baseline about 5 times in the last 11 or 12 points. And it comes down right on the baseline in a way that Wang Yidi thought there wasn't even table there. Watch her reaction to this. What?
18,
She has to smile to keep herself calm.
Yeah.
This is all a very measured mental practice right now.
Oh!
19.
It is the 9th match point for Wang Yidi.
18, 19.
Gutsy short serve.
Let 18, 19.
Oh my God. It's almost a mirror image.
Yeah, it
They
is.
both served
Exactly
short.
what happened in the point prior.
Wang Yidi with a slightly better contact, but still a page right out of a recent history, Tab. I mean, this is slow spinny attempt and not the traction.
It's now Hina Hayata who's got her 3rd match point.
If you're just turning on the TV now, games are played to 11, must win by 2.
Can she do it? That's unlucky! Hina Hayata has done it! Having saved 9 match points! She's dug so deep, she is stuck to the plan. A plan that has been back and forth. Look at the emotion. She restrained herself during the match, but now she lets it all out.
This match right here will go down in history as one of the most dramatic matches that has been played on television. Hina Hayata